Alright, so I hope you can hear me okay. For today, I actually decided to test not only again the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer under my eyes, as you can see I'm wearing it right now, but I decided to do the YouTube beauty community holy grail combo of the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer set with the Mercier translucent loose setting powder. So earlier today, this morning, I did the combo. I didn't really have the time to film it, but hopefully you can see that my under eye circles are basically gone. The Tarte Shape Tape Concealer does a very good job at, hiding that, but it is a pretty dewy finish. My previous video was about 15 minutes of me really just talking about that concealer. So it is a very dewy finish and you do need to set it. And the reason I didn't actually set it with Mercier translucent setting powder is because I actually didn't have it. It arrived the same day, just later. So originally in that video I set my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer with the Wet n Wild pressed translucent powder. The one thing I did want to say about the Mercier, that loose setting powder, is that it does have a yellow tint to it, so it kind of helps you combat those dark under eye circles even more. So I'm gonna go about my day. This is gonna be a really long day. I've got some errands to run, I've got a workout session, I've got some working out gym clothes in my bag, and it actually is raining right now, as you may have, since I'm carrying an umbrella with me. So hopefully this is a good video. I might film an intro later, but I'm definitely going to film an outro. So I'm going to show you the packaging that the Mercier powder came in, what it looks like, the consistency, what I think about it, how I applied it, and stuff like that. So hold on tight and I'll take you with me around my day and I'll film a few more of those. So of course now it's not raining and it's super sunny, and I purposefully took my sunglasses out of my backpack. So I'm gonna be squinting a lot, and this is probably gonna be even a better of a test for this under eye combo. I don't know if you can see, but we haven't got that much creasing going on under the eye so far, and it's only been about an hour and the game is pretty strong, so we'll keep at it. So I'm still going through the day. I'm actually getting coffee right now, and everything is holding up pretty well, I think. It's kind of not great lighting in here, honestly, coffee shops, but I think it's actually pretty good. Like, if I zoom this in, you can see that it's obviously settled into my usual fine lines, but I haven't really found a powder or a concealer or a combo of a powder and a concealer that doesn't do that. The fine line is there, and it's kind of hard for it to be blurred out or for it to magically disappear. So I'm happy with that. The good thing that it's not doing is some concealers and some powders, because this is such a big crack, really. Some concealers actually will, and that includes powder, they will actually kind of get out of that. Even if I press it in there, they will kind of rub itself off of inside of there and basically leave me with this gaping hole, and it'll just make it twice as obvious. So I'm happy enough that this combo is, it's not concealing the fine lines that I naturally have. That's, that would need to be some magic being worked there. But I'm happy enough that it's not doing it, that it's not making it worse, if that makes sense. So I'm pretty happy with this. The day is kind of crazy, but I guess this is the weather that I live in. It's raining and it's sunny, and then there's rainbow in the sky, so there's like something going on all the time, and I'm kind of sweating, and my workout is in about 2 hours, an hour and a half, so that will be the true test of this holy grail combo. Wait for it. Okay, this was one of the longest days ever. It is totally dark outside. It is now 9 o'clock in the evening, and I've still got the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and the Mercier translucent setting loose powder on my face. The good combo. Now, those items in total cost $49, so for like a good, you know, concealer and setting powder combo, it's not a drugstore price or a luxurious kind of price point, so it's, you know, it's definitely in the middle. And I think I just want to show you, I mean, what it looks like. So I've been wearing it for, I think, about 10 hours now. I was walking around in the rain and the wind. I had some coffee, I had some food, and then I was working out for 2 hours. Mind you, the working out was quite intense, so I did get sweaty. I don't normally get like real, like dripping sweaty, so this was, you know, still fine. I was kind of checking my under eyes to see if, you know, my entire face is covered in sweat. It never is, and it wasn't this time either. So this is the kind of test that I was able to put this these two items to. Okay, so I'm gonna take basically, this is a magnifying mirror here, and just basically looking at this, I mean, the state of it right away, it's not great. You can see all of my fine lines exaggerated. You can see dry patches there, where obviously like my eyes wrinkle, where, you know, where I blink. And you can see like a lot of texture. I've seen worse, but I wasn't actually expecting it to be this kind of, I mean, it's pretty bad. You can see that there's something seriously wrong with my under eye. It mightn't look like this on camera, and I will zoom this in a second. You can see there is like little bumps, almost kind of cakiness going on. My pores exaggerated where there are pores up there. And yeah, the opaqueness of the Shape Tape was kind of lost. So I don't think, due to the opaqueness being lost, I don't think that like I have dark circles under my eyes again. I'm still pretty like illuminated. I can just see that there's a difference, a minimal one, I might add. There's a difference between right now and when I applied it. So there's that. I want to read what the Mercier powder is supposed to do, and I'm just on their website, lauramercier.com. It feels luxuriously dense in the jar, incredibly soft and silky light on your skin. I will give it that. It's definitely very light and very, very smooth. It goes on evenly, blends effortlessly, provides great wear. I would agree with the first two. It definitely goes on very evenly and it blends amazingly well. I did bake my eyes for about, I think, 5 minutes, and provides great wear. It is pretty good wear considering what I did today. Sets makeup without adding weight or texture. I definitely agree with the weight. It feels like there isn't any powder on my skin, but texture develops over time, I feel. It's modern matte finish, definitely very matte. Like all Laura Mercier setting powders, it has a soft focus effect that subtly blurs the look of fine lines and imperfections, doesn't settle into fine lines or pores, and never looks cakey. Okay, so it didn't blur my fine lines. They were the biggest fine line. I will zoom this in right now. The biggest fine line that I have are right there. See that? That is so intense that it just doesn't go away. I've never used any foundation, any under eye concealer, any powder that would make this go away. That's fine. What it doesn't do, what this is true here, it says that it doesn't settle into fine lines. Some concealers settle into there. I wouldn't say settle into the fine lines that they do that I don't like. It's that they build around it, leaving the actual kind of ridge makeup free. Like I said, I think I mentioned earlier before, it never looks cakey. I don't think it looks cakey. I think with the wear, it just doesn't look so smooth anymore. It still definitely looks fine in person unless you're like really staring into my eyes, but it doesn't look as good as it did. And fair enough, it did most of those things apart from like blurring my fine lines at the start. It's just with time throughout the day and with my workout and stuff, I mean, a lot of that just cancelled out. I'm going to zoom this out now. We've had a good look at what's happening here. I'm going to point it out again. Fine lines, these here, right here, they don't really exist on my face. This makeup basically produced those. This here, the dry kind of patch of nothingness right here, and generally you can also see my under eye darkness reappear again. So enough with the uncomfortable close-up. What I would also like to point out is, not this one, I totally forgot about this pimple, but these, quite carelessly, I put Tarte Shape Tape over these, and that's completely gone. I didn't even set it there, so that's fair enough, but it's something to point out. If you're just going to take Tarte Shape Tape on the go and then just tap it over your spots without setting it or anything, it mightn't do the best job if it's a long day. Alright, so why don't I finally show you this powder? It comes in this packaging, and I wanted to keep the packaging even though I obviously used it. Laura Mercier loose setting powder. Ingredients, the first one's talc, obviously. There isn't really anything interesting here. It says the shade here. The two shades that are available, the translucent shade does have a yellow tint to it. It's not totally white, but they do claim that it works with all skin types. And then the other shade that they have is the translucent medium deep. I don't know if you can see that. And that one's just for darker complexions, but it's still translucent. Yeah, I mean, the box, it doesn't say anything spectacular, and it's quite a nice box. It's just translucent on the top here, and then it comes in this nice plastic jar with like a soft matte finish to it. It says Laura Mercier on here. Nothing spectacular on the bottom again. And then when you open it up, it just comes with these little, do you see there? Just those little dots that you kind of filter the powder through. And tell me if you have a better way of doing this. Obviously this is like the first loose setting powder that I've actually bought, but I just kind of like pour it out in here, and then I put it on my beauty blender and kind of like on my face. I don't know if that's the right way to do it. I couldn't, like, if I pick up a brush and try to like kind of go in there, it doesn't really pick up anything. This is pretty much it for the packaging and for the powder itself. Since I didn't film me putting this on, I'm just going to show you right now what I did. I mean, I just took this beauty blender, and you can still see that there's like some powder left on it. Again, I poured this powder onto this lid. I pressed it into the beauty blender, see there, and then I just baked. And I'm just going to do it again. I mean, why not? Just so we can see me apply it. I just need this mirror here. So it is really nice. It presses into the skin like really easily. Like, this is totally true what they say on the website. It blends easily. It's very easy to use. So I do have to give them that. While I'm at this, actually, for anyone who watches all of my videos, in one of them I mentioned that finishing, oh yeah, it was in the foundation kind of basic tips and knowledge video, I talked about setting powder, And when I read up on the topic of like setting powders, I also found out that there's apparently a difference between setting powders and finishing powders. Finishing powders are sometimes also called HD studio powders. And this is what I have here, and I said this in like one of my first videos, the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Finishing Powder. This is loose as well and translucent. And I dissed it for being like flour and flying everywhere and not really doing anything and not actually settling on my skin. Now I don't really know how to use like this kind of finishing powder for a studio setup. Oh my god, I now have 2 powders on my face. Anyway, if you're gonna get anything from this, I guess, is the difference between these two. The colors. Both are translucent. This one's much more yellow, if we're talking about the Laura Mercier powder. And putting this powder on my already ruined eyes didn't really help anything. The fine lines are still there. The dry patches here are still here. I mean, it doesn't really help anything. I don't really know how to end this. I do know that I will be using this. I don't usually wear makeup on like really intense days. I don't think a lot of people wear makeup to the gym. It's just really quite crazy to do. But you know, this combo will still be my go-to combo, even though obviously it turned out to have its flaws, I guess. The other powder that I have, the Revlon banana powder from the highlight and contour kit. I've mentioned this before, it's too yellow and you can't build it on top of itself because it will turn orange, and it kind of does oxidize orange on its own as well. It's just you have to like go really, really lightly with it, so you couldn't really bake with it. I feel like if you put like quite a lot of it with like a beauty blender and leave it on your face for 5 minutes, you will have like orange eyes. That's crazy. So you know, this was still quite a good purchase, and so was this. Is this the holy grail combo with no drawbacks and you know everyone needs to get it? I don't think it is. If you do want these brands because they're popular and because a lot of YouTubers are using them, you know, if you're on the lookout for a new setting powder or a new concealer, you can try them out and see if they work better for you. Especially the powder. I don't think the powder is much better than powders that cost less than $28. I think this is better than concealers that cost less than $21. That's kind of it. Am I raging? Am I upset that I paid this kind of you know, high-ish price point for it? Not really. I do see the quality in this. It's just somehow, you know, I don't know what I expected. Somehow it didn't last me like 10 hours of boxing. Like, you know, it wasn't gonna happen. So I guess this is it. Thank you guys for watching this rundown of this holy grail combo, under eye combo. My under eye game has definitely been changed for much better with these 2 items. There are some drawbacks to them, like I said throughout the video, but please do buy with caution. And if you have any more questions, you know, I will totally answer them. There are barely any comments under my videos anyway, so if you have any questions about, you know, either of these 2 or just anything, just ask me anyway. But really, thank you for watching. I appreciate your support for whoever is out there supporting, and as always, I'm gonna ask you to, you know, subscribe, like, comment, and share if you do enjoy my videos, if you like makeup videos, if you like me, and if you like my channel. You know, I am trying to obviously get out my videos to as many people as possible. You know, it's quite fun. I do have taking my phone around with me and kind of filming on the go and stuff. That was pretty cool to try it as well. But it is, you know, all the more fun if more people are watching. But without any further ado, I will leave you to it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.